Hey guys, this is Ashley. Welcome back to my channel. So if this is your first time being here, thank you so much. My name is Ashley. I have a doctorate in pharmacy known as a PharmD, and I love makeup. So that's where you get Dr. Ash and her makeup, but you don't have to call me Dr. Ash. Ash is just fine. So I have a haul here for you guys today. This is like a little collective haul, things I've hauled from my little time away from YouTube when I've been so busy with work and being an essential employee. So I wanted to go ahead and show these to you. And look at me, I'm looking like a real beauty guru with my, basket right here. This was like $3 at the Container Store, I want to say. So that's where I got this from. And if you're wondering about my eye look, I do have on the Natasha Denona bronze palette, and I have 5 looks, 1 video, or 5 looks, 1 palette, whatever you want to call it, already up on my channel. So it might not be this exact same look, but basically some around the same shades have been used. So go ahead and check that out if you want to see that palette in action. But let's go ahead and jump in with these goodies. I have goodies from all over. So some are a little extra birthday treat. You've basically seen them. Some of the products have been around, but they were things that I wanted in my collection I have not had, and some are some newer items. So the first product up, we have the Give Me Glow Summervibes palette. And I actually just did a video with this palette doing maybe 2 looks, and it was like a chit chat get ready with me video. I have been wanting to get this palette from Give Me Glow Cosmetics for such a long time. They finally re-released it, and this product goes in and out of stock, and you can kind of catch it and sometimes you can't. A lot of times, anytime really for anything Give Me Glow, I think it's really good to follow their Instagram because that's where they get the most updates. And sometimes you have to look in places where you wouldn't necessarily see an update or expect an update from a product, because I know when I picked up the Christmas morning palette, they literally had one swatch of a shadow that was totally different color that didn't even go in the Christmas morning palette, but they were like, oh, by the way, the Christmas morning palette will be restocking next Friday at this time in the caption. So I don't know why they do that. It makes it a little hard. But if you want to know when their stuff is coming out, Instagram is the best. So they recently changed the packaging. So they changed the unicarton, and this packaging before it was white and it just said Summer Vibes. Before that was fine. It didn't really bother me. And then you do get a nice big mirror. I want to say this palette retails for $40, $50, somewhere in that price. The Give Me Glow can be a little bit more expensive, but they do have great quality shadows. The shimmers, they are comparable with some of the top-notch brands out there. Not to mention, in this palette, they kind of took it away where in the older palette, you can pop the shades out. It had a nice little fingerprint nodule right there, so you could just kind of scoop the palette or the pan up and then place it in a magnetic palette of your choice to mix and match your shadows. But this is more in a traditional palette format. But I think this palette is fabulous. So check out the video if you want to see how these shadows perform. This is my first time really trying Give Me Glow, so I really have been enjoying the looks that you can make out of this palette. And these shades are just as pigmented as they look in the pan, so that is really great. Next up, I owe you guys a video on this palette, and I will probably knock that out soon, hopefully this week. And it is the Juvia's Place Wahala palette, which Wahala means drama in Nigerian. And it has this beautiful African mask on there, and they're talking about the theme of the theatrics and the African mask when people get dressed up for cultural rituals with this palette. And it was kind of like a surprise palette. We did not know it was coming out. It was like, boom, it's here. I was like, oh, okay, this is cute. So I thought it was really pretty, and it's actually kind of bigger for some of the Juvia's Place palettes. You know, we usually have like a 9-pan palette, or we even have like maybe, I can't remember how many pans we have in some of those bigger palettes, like the Masquerade, for instance. But in this palette, you have 4, and then you have 5. So you literally have 20 shades. I like that the pan size are reduced. And these colors are beautiful. And I see so many wonderful color stories in this palette, especially if you just go down the rows. You have the colors out. And then uniquely, which has been, kind of a trend lately in the community, are these pressed glitters. So this is the first time having pressed glitters in here. But I do really like that they go with the theme of the palette. Like, oh my gosh, this one right here is amazing. They're very finely pressed, and this one has some duochrome action to it, so it is amazing. Some of these shimmers, like this one, what is it called, Power? Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to get this on my eyes, because this one is probably like a triochrome shadow where you have purple, blue, green. look at that shift. And you know, Juvia's Place has always been basically known for their shimmers, so that has never been an issue, but they have really been stepping up their game and improving their formula. So I really love that shade. It is really unique. I also love this shade called Unshook. It's like a black and berry shade. And here we go right here. Just swatching a couple of these. So even though, you know, there's unique color stories in the palette that are kind of spelled out for you, you can kind of always go in and mix and match, because these two definitely complement each other. And then also is another shade that I really like. I want to say it is, was it Envy? Or maybe it was Unafraid. Let's just swatch both of them, these two purple shimmers. So I feel like in this palette you have a good mix of mattes and shimmers to create whatever look you want to. And then the Crest glitters, of course, it's just going to take it up a notch. Okay, so next up I have these 6 shadows by Terra Cosmetics. And these are beautiful. So they do basically all of their orders basically off a pre-order with this brand. So it did take about 2 months for these shadows to come, but I really love these shadows. And they're so pretty and unique, and it has some of those dual chrome flips to them. I don't really know a lot about this brand, so sorry, y'all. I have been introduced to this brand from Karen Harris Makeup, so if you want to know more about Terra Moons, definitely go over to her channel. But look at these shadows. They are so foiled. I want to say these shadows were about, I can't remember either. I will put that in the corner. I ordered these a while ago. I want to say I ordered this March, but look at this shade right here. So beautiful. This is this blue shade called Moontide. Oh my gosh. I mean, the shades are very buttery. They're very high performance pigments and lots of duochrome action. So look at that shade. I mean, if that is not beautiful, I don't even know what to tell you. I just picked up these little 6 shadows, and I have yet to play with them, but I'm definitely looking forward to playing with them. And I do think I want to order a few more shadows from them whenever they have another collection that draws me in. So this palette, I feel like it had mixed reviews, but I definitely wanted to try it for myself. It is the Nabla Cosmetics 420 palette. I mean, honestly, their packaging, they kill the game when they do their packaging, because this is just the unicarton, and it is gold richness. I mean, obviously, the owners of Nabla Cosmetics, they love some weed, because they are always doing a palette dedicated to it. We had like the Smoke Show palette. We have the 420 palette now. Did they have something else? I can't remember. Well, I probably am thinking about the Gemini palette, but that definitely complements. But look at this packaging. They have it's a little card that's on top that gives it this movement on the packaging. So it just kind of makes you look like you're tripping because from the effects of the palette or the effects of whatever you're consuming. But I mean, the packaging, they are really creative when it comes to their packaging, so I do appreciate that from Melt. I picked this up from Sephora, and I mean, we've heard like mixed reviews on this palette, but I just wanted to try it out for myself, like I said. And so at the top we have 420 written in that bright foil green, and we have a mirror, and their palette is set up like most of their palettes have been set up in the past, since they've been coming out with actual palettes and not the stacks. But in this palette, we actually only have one shimmer shade, which is called Shatter, which is this one right here. And everything else is mattes. So I thought it was a unique color scheme, and I was really just digging the blues and the greens and the earthiness of it, and the bright metallic with the bright neon greens and the yellow and this mauve color. So I just thought that this is still like a palette that you get a lot of looks at it, especially with these matte shades. So let me know. I can play around with this. I definitely have not played around with this yet, so I could probably put this in a video or something. Oh, I picked up these 2 palettes from Hank and Henry, and you guys might have heard me mention them in my video where I talk about all my eyeshadow palettes, because these were the 2 newest palettes I picked up. So they had them in a mystery box, and this is the Poison palette, and then this is the Teddy palette. So this was my first time trying anything from Hank and Henry. I know when they came out, they had a lot of pressed pigments, and they had like maybe a loose pigment at the top with some type of medium that you could make it more foiled with. So I saw these palettes and I was like, oh my god, so beautiful. Especially this one right here, this Poison palette. This color scheme is so beautiful and pretty unique to my collection, and I'm just really digging it. I mean, look at these shadows. They are very pretty. I love that pop of green. I love this row. This whole thing is just like magical, smoky goodness to me. So I can't wait to play with these palettes. I don't know about anything about the quality, but I know that the brand is very inclusive. So a little bit about the brand Hank and Henry. It is founded by a gentleman named Frank Henry Vasquez, I want to say, and he's been in the beauty industry for a very long time. The brand seems very inclusive. Like when you look at their Instagram page, they have people from all walks of life. I want to say that the owner is a member of the LGBTQ community, and so that's why they focus on that. And he is also Latinx. So this is definitely like, you know, a person who runs a minority-owned brand. And then he always uses the owl because he says the owl represents his love of his grandmother, who always provides so much wisdom. And you know, owls wisdom, that is something that you always think about when you see an owl. So that is just a little bit about the brand, and they pride themselves on being cruelty and vegan free across the whole brand. So they have very unique products. Like I said, they have the pigments and everything. So I'm really interested in trying out these shadows. When I look at the Instagram promo pics, or just like the pictures that people have created with their palettes, and they have such a wide variety of palettes, it's very intriguing, and the looks are very beautiful. So definitely wanted to try this out. And when I saw that Poison palette come through on my timeline of just like suggested things, I was like, that is super cute. I gotta do it. So Nabla Cosmetics came out with 3 more palettes to their Cuttie line. So these came out, I want to say, about March, April, somewhere in there. So you did see me do a video on the Metropolitan palette, which is right here. And I did this in like a get ready with me trying new makeup video. But these palettes were, this palette especially, I wouldn't say these, but I've kind of tried 2 of them, but I haven't tried the rest of them. The shadows just kind of blew me away. I always heard good things about Nabla Cosmetics, especially their single shadows, but then mixed reviews about their palettes. So I definitely wanted to try these out, and this color scheme was really pretty. At the same time, I wanted to try out the bronze palette, but I mentioned in that video that the bronze was sold out. I was like, oh, so we doing cool tones? That's what we doing? Because it's sold out on Ulta. And I picked this up. So I want to say these palettes were about $20-something a piece. I had an Ulta gift card from Christmas, so I was able to use this because I just kind of saved it to buy something that I really wanted, just versus buying anything just to say I bought something. So these shades were really pretty, and I love the tones of them. And you have a lot of sparkle in these shadows. Like this shade Gem System is really pretty. Nabla is a European brand, and they I've always heard that they've had great shadows and lots of sparkle. Like look at this shade right here. I just put it on the side, but it's so pretty. But the mattes were creamy. I did not have a problem with that, and the shimmers were so foil and vibrant. And then the last one right here is the Wildberry palette. I was like, oh, it's so pretty. I don't need it because I have a lot of things this color scheme, but I ended up picking it up anyway because, you know, I was just like, oh, it's back in stock. I can't, you know, help myself. I love this color scheme, but this shade Alchemy and Gluconic Baby, oh my gosh. Like, look at these 2 shades. So I think at this point I'm probably right here, but amazing quality. So I'm really happy with these Nabla palettes, and I think this set just really kind of knocked it out the park. And it's great to just kind of have these little mini palette sets, and like I said, all of them, they just work so well together, so you can kind of mix and match and, you know, come up with a whole new look of whatever you're feeling this day. So I'm really digging these, and I'm glad that Ulta restocked the other 2, so I was able to pick these up. So these next 2 products I'm going to talk about, they're so not new, and but they were on my makeup wish list. So first I'm going to talk about this particular palette. It's from Viseart, and this is one of their OG palettes, and I had really wanted to try Viseart out, like give them a real try. I tried out a Petite Pro palette, the Soleil palette, but it was just okay to me. But this right here is Dark Matte 04. And look at the shades. I have always wanted this. So this was like something like a little birthday treat for me. And I have definitely been wanting to try. I mean, the colors look luscious. And when you hear about Viseart, you always hear about how their mattes are so good. So I definitely wanted to give this a whirl, especially like this little section right here. It looks like something that would just be delicious as a transition. And that would definitely show up on my complexion without being ashy. And I've heard a lot of women say that a color like this right here is like a perfect palette to kind of set you up for some of your other shadows because it's so deeply pigmented. And then the spin-off of the Dark Matte palette, I got the Dark Edit right here. And so this palette isn't new either, but this one does have a few shimmer shades in it, unlike the other palette. And so here it is. It's really cute, petite. I like how they do their packaging. Like, of course, this clear plastic is made basically for makeup artists, and this is probably more for the actual consumer because it has some type of packaging. But I like how it's compact, and I love the color, how it's eggplant. And then you have some variety of some of the same shades, but not the exact same shades right here. Let me take the little plastic off so you can see it better. And then down at the bottom, we have a row of shimmers that are very pretty and complement the palette so well. And I feel like you can come up with a variety of looks. So this was definitely intriguing to me, and I wanted to pick up a couple of Viseart palettes. And so I decided to start with these two. But I do want to pick up one to say the warm edit, of this. So I do want to pick that up and try this out. So I was glad that I was finally able to add some Viseart really to my collection. Right now, like I have a lot of makeup. I'm pretty satisfied with it. So I'm not just buying stuff to buy stuff. If I feel it and I'm like, ooh, I'm going to buy it, I'm going to buy it. But I kind of want to curate my collection at this point and kind of round it out for some things that I'm missing. So that's what I'm on at the moment. I have one more eyeshadow to talk about, and this is from the brand Chantecaille. And they have really nice products, but they're very expensive. So I was able to get this on sale, I want to say for about 20, maybe 40% off at Bergdorf and Goodman online because they're based out of New York. And I said, let me pick this up. So I picked up the shade that is representative of the animal called Pangolin, I want to say is how you call it. So basically this collection featured the species that are going extinct in Africa. And I want to say this collection came out maybe about 1 to 2 years ago. So I do have this shade, which is Elephant, which is a kind of like a taupey gray, which is really, really beautiful. This is what it looks like. This is the Elephant shade. When I saw these were on sale, it's like, okay, I think I will pick up another shade because I really enjoyed using this shadow. This is the Elephant shade right here. I was gifted this by somebody, one of my Link sisters. I'm in an organization called the Links Incorporated. And I picked this particular sister up when we go to meetings because she has a lot of issues with her eyes. And so she's older, but we get along so well. We are pretty much great friends. And she gave me this as a thank you for picking her up. And she's like, here, I have something for you. I was like, oh, for me? Like, oh. And I was like, oh, and the shots of God, like, oh, girl, what you know about this? So I was like, oh, it is so pretty. So I saw this one and I was like, oh my gosh, their shadows perform so well. And so they're having a good sale. So I decided to pick this color up, and it's kind of like a rosy dust color. So here we go. And I thought this color was really, really beautiful. Kind of reminiscent to something, if you think about it, in the Pat McGrath Divine Rose 2 right here. Maybe kind of similar, like a hybrid between, like, what is it, Divine Rose Smoke or something like that, but not quite extravaganza, but somewhere, I think kind of hybrid. So I decided to pick up this color, like I said, because it's on sale, because nobody has time to be paying $52 for a single eyeshadow. Like, no. So I've really been enjoying this particular color. So I just thought it was something fun to add to my collection. All right, I'm back. I had to take a small break, use my inhaler. I was just sitting outside, and it's heavy allergy season. This is this time where I tend to suffer. And I was like, I'm talking to y'all, and I feel like, I'm like, whoa, I'm a little winded there, a little congested from my allergies. It is the time of the year where I have to take 2 allergy pills. I'm COVID free. I was just tested. So I keep telling myself there are no allergies during COVID because it's nerve wracking. You're like, that tickle in my throat. Is it allergies or is it something else? Don't act like you haven't thought that about yourself, okay? So, and plus, you know, I go out to work every day. So there is a potential for me to be exposed. But okay, I'm good. So we can finish the rest of this video. So that wraps up the eyeshadow. So like I said, I've been enjoying the Chantecaille eyeshadow. I would say it's really nice, but I wouldn't say it's worth for me to spend $52. So just definitely getting it at a discounted price because I even feel like $30 is a lot. But I was like, oh, go ahead and just buy this one because Birdoff was running the sale. Plus they were doing free shipping. You know, everything's been on sale. Like the whole world's on sale almost, except for what you really, really need. So, I mean, at this point, they're like giving cars away for 6 months. And then I saw, what was it, Ford or Chevy? It was like, you can return the car a year after if, you know, if you lose your job. And I was like, dang, they are just giving cars away. Like, if I need a car, like, whoo, I would take advantage of these deals. But I'm getting sidetracked. Let's go back to the makeup. So, Becca came out with a new highlighter. And here she is. It is Your Own Light Perfector highlighter, and it is really pretty. I'm digging this rose gold fiery orange packaging. Here is pink, orange. I just see a lot of colors in it. And this is what the highlighter looks like, and it's definitely a more pinky tone highlighter. Go ahead and swatch it for you. And it's very smooth, and it has a nice sparkle to it. So I really do enjoy some of the Becca highlighters. I don't like them all, but I have my favorites. But I really enjoy how this looks on my skin complexion because it's just the right hint. And I feel like it does just kind of be your own light. You know, it kind of just takes on a whole new color based off of your color, off of your complexion of your skin. And then also kind of the eye look that you put on, it kind of draws in. So definitely when I wear my Divine Rose palette, I like to put on this highlighter. So I really have been enjoying this. And then for a couple lip products, which is basically non-existent in my life since I wear a mask at every moment. But I picked up the Opulust Gloss Kit by McGrath. You know, I think that these are a fabulous deal because I'm not into paying $25, $30 for a single gloss, a full-size one. That's going to take me forever to go through. And, I mean, I really love the colors. I love her formula. But then, I mean, like, you're being practical. If you buy one, like I always say, then you want the other color, that's $50. And you're like, ooh, but I like this one too. And next thing you know, you spend like $75, almost $90 on lip gloss. And it's like, woo, like too much. So it comes with 3 shades, which is Naked Rose, Dreamscape, and Lavendering. And I think I talked about these before. I can't remember if I've shown these in my last haul, but I really like these. I'm going to say the last video that was in, I wore the Dreamscape gloss, but I haven't had a chance to wear the other ones. Let's see, I'll just put them here. So like this, like I said, this is Dreamscape. High Shine Foiled Glosses. The Opulust collection has a lot of glitter in it, but it's fine and it's micro glitters and you don't have to worry about it being clumpy and goopy. And these to me kind of smell like cotton candy. Not taste, but smell like cotton candy. This one right here is the Naked Rose. Really beautiful. So I feel like she put kind of like some of her most popular shades in this trio. I wish she would come out with another trio. Anytime she comes out with the trios on the lip, I'm like, this one just is a little clumpy. Like, what's going on here? This is Lavendering. But like I said, anytime she comes out with the trios and any of her lip products, I am over that. I'm like, yes, yes, give it to me. Okay? And then I have this one gloss right here. This is by the Lip Bar. I've talked about the Lip Bar so many times on my channel. I have a full video dedicated on full face and some of their eyeshadows. They have a whole product line. But this is their lip gloss. This is called Class Act. And it's a beautiful red gloss. It is very, very pigmented. So you don't have to worry about it being, you know, light or if it's going to look weird, especially by it being a red color and kind of tinted. And you're like, is it going to give off enough pigment? But I really like how their lip glosses kind of stay in place. And then you put a nice lip line on it. They're great. And now we have one more lipstick by McGrath. This is a color I have been eyeing, and I want to say it was redesigned or repackaged with one of the Opulust collections when she did that Opulence collection basically for this past Christmas. So we have the color here. This is Deep Orchid, and this is a MatteTrance lipstick. I was able to purchase this on sale because Sephora was running a sale. Like I said, everything's been on sale, you know, for the most part. And I was able to get this for, I want to say, $20 something, something around there. But it has the pink packaging because, like I said, it has that packaging from the Christmas time. But the color is really, really pretty. And like I said, this is a MatteTrance formula. So I really do enjoy her lipsticks. But like I said, if I can pick them up on sale, I'm so with it. And that is the color Deep Orchid. So I hope you guys have enjoyed my little haul that of some products that I have picked up along the way while I have not been so much active on YouTube. Of course, you guys know I have the Natasha Denona Bronze palette. I told you I'm wearing that today. And of course, I have the Pat McGrath Divine Rose palette, Rose 2 rather. And you know, all of this makeup is so much fun. I've really been enjoying kind of testing out some of these products. So let me know what you want to see videos on. I do know I owe a video on that Wahala palette. I know that it is out of stock, but they'll probably bring it back. And for people who have it, I like to do looks so you can have something to reference. And I hope you guys enjoyed my haul. I don't think it's too big. I don't think it's too little. So it's just right there in between. So let me know if you guys enjoyed this video. Give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel because you know I would love to have you here in my little makeup family. And leave me a comment down below so we can chat it up in the comments. And you already know what time it is. It is time for the chair dance. Hey, chair dance. Chair dance. Chair dance. Chair dance. All right, y'all. Bye.